Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today we are going to talk about some important points regarding charity and charitable behavior. To be charitable obviously is a very noble trait. To give in charity is a very coveted human trait as well. Looking after the needs of others is an acknowledgement of God's favors on oneself. It is also our unwritten obligation towards the society. People who are sensitive to the needs of others will find others being sensitive to their own needs. And the pinnacle of this charitable behavior, as pointed out by the Quran, is that people, in spite of being in need themselves, give preference to the needs of their brethren. They would rather give preference to the needs of others instead of fulfilling their own needs. So this is the topmost and the pinnacle of being charitable. But not everyone can obviously boast of this behavior. But other than that, because there are some flaws which mar our charitable behavior, and I'd like to discuss some of these very prominent flaws. The first of these flaws, viewers, is that at times we shy away in spending for the cause of God because the amount that we have is very small. And since it is very small, we think that it will not benefit others. But we need to realize that our test and our trial is that we spend whatever we have, even if it is a small coin, a small penny, because it shows our concern for our brethren. It tells us that whatever we have, whatever we can spare, even if it is a very small drop in the ocean, will help them. And it expresses our concern for them. The second pitfall, the second shortcoming, viewers, in this regard is that we often remind others very condescendingly of our charitable behavior. We tell them that we did such and such a favor to you. This is something which is very despicable, and the Quran has actually reprimanded such people by saying, "La tubtilu sadaqatikum bil manni wal aza." Do not mar your charity by pointing out that you have done a favor to others and by harming them and by teasing them in this regard. The third pitfall, viewers, in this regard is that we often make a show of our charitable behavior. We publicize our charitable behavior. We tell people what we have done. We boast of our achievements. We tell them that we have spent such a large amount. Now, this again is very, very unbecoming. To be charitable is something which is between us and our God. If we are spending someone for others, it is because it is we who want God's mercy and God's blessings, and therefore it is best if we keep this spending and this charity to be a secret. And it is something that we need to realize is that charity is something which God does not need from us. In fact, it is we who need our charity, because it's ultimately we who are going to benefit from this charity. The third or the fourth pitfall, viewers, in this regard is that we seldom take enough pains to find out who the person is who is in need. At times we just give away the money to whoever comes to us, and instead of taking some pains, instead of bothering ourselves by finding out who is in need more than the person who has come to us, we just give away to the first comer or who is available at ease. But in this regard, we must take pains and we must find out people who are in need, especially people who are white-collar people. They would not ask you. It would hurt their self-esteem to ask you. They would be very, very hurt if they would spread their hands before you. So it's our responsibility to reach out to people who themselves are ashamed, or they have a very high self-esteem and they cannot spread their hands before us. And finally, viewers, it is very, very unbecoming of us if we start scolding people when they ask money from us. Obviously, we have the opportunity and the option to refuse, but a polite refusal is something which is very, very essential. So just to recap, the first shortcoming is that we must not shy away even if we have a small amount. The second is that we must not boast of our charity. We must keep it a secret between ourselves and the Almighty. The third important thing in this regard is that however the amount small it may be, however much smaller it may be, we must not shy away from spending in charity. And finally, viewers, the fourth point is that we must take pains in finding out the most deserving person in this regard. So these are some points that we need to ponder while spending in charity. They often go unnoticed, and let us resolve to be more cautious and vigilant in this regard. Thank you.